Let's talk about how blockchain is disrupting the gaming industry. But first, what is blockchain? So, blockchain is a record keeping and contract enforcement technology that is based on a complex cryptography. It allows organizations to streamline shared work streams, such as supply chains, by exchanging and tracking assets and transactions on a shared ledger. The gaming industry employs some of the greatest creative and technological minds, and the projected revenue of this industry is around $143 billion by 2020. This industry serves over 1.7 billion consumers worldwide and is a perfect prime candidate for disruption. Gaming and blockchain are two fields which are at the epicenters of the new wave of competitive technological innovation. So, the biggest question over here is how will blockchain disrupt the gaming industry? There are some of the ways by which blockchain will disrupt the gaming industry. Some of them are, first of all, is that there would be a continuous and parallel gaming universe. That means that a distributed ledger can make it possible for gamers to use their characters and items in multiple games with interlinked environment. Second, it would increase the value of the gaming items. Now, there are three ways how blockchain can increase the value of the virtual items. First, it would raise the functional value of those items. Second, it will cement their economical value. And third, it will increase their social value. The most important one is the safe storage. It will guarantee safe storage of game items permanently. How it will use the encrypted blockchain ledgers to store digital assets. One of the services where blockchain has been used successfully is Microsoft Azure. Azure is an ever expanded set of cloud computing services to help your organization meet its business challenges. Azure gives you the freedom to build, manage, and deploy applications on a massive global network using your preferred tools and frameworks. How blockchain has been used for Microsoft Azure is it simplifies and accelerates record keeping and verifications between partners across your entire workflow by instantly sharing data and logic on an immutable shared network. Azure's three-step approach to blockchain is to build the consortium network, simplify governance and management, and integrate the blockchain solutions with the systems and tools that we used. Also used to secure the data and to digitize the workflows in the illustrated architectural scenarios. Blockchain has been seen a fast uptake in adoption for application development and pilot tests in a number of industries, and it will generate more than $10.6 billion in revenue by 2023, which is according to a new report from ABI Research in New York. One of the business cases which we have used to explain how blockchain helped a gaming platform become a game changer is of Microsoft Xbox. UI and Microsoft Xbox have implemented a transparent blockchain network so creators could focus on developing the future of gaming. Before using the blockchain, the major problem was the major problem in Microsoft Xbox was that sometimes it took more than 45 days to issue payments, and the complexity wasn't just causing more amounts of paperwork, it was also creating anxiety for creators with small business and limited resources. Microsoft Xbox knew that there had to be a smarter way to manage the process, so it engaged EY to implement a suite of smart digital solutions to address the problem. How this will help Microsoft Xbox is that, first of all, that EY and Microsoft are working to streamline the calculation of royalties between Microsoft game publishers, developers, and others. And it has been built using Quorum blockchain on the Azure cloud computing platform, and also because blockchain is a ledger that can be added to but not modified. So it makes it very secure. And each entry is secured into blocks of entries, and each new block is linked to the previous one. So it is historically known as a core part of the digital currency, Bitcoin, but can be used for any transaction of value. Also, that it would also help the intellectual property owners that they can trace now how their IP is used and see how revenues is flowing through licensing agreements and partnership. So this is something by how blockchain is going to help Microsoft Xbox.
Now we will study use case secure and transparent C2C sale. Blockchain has potential for content right owners to enable additional revenue stream by leveraging consumer-to-consumer sale. The idea of peer-to-peer content sharing is not new, but it has been a serious threat for the publishers and the producers of the game since the past. Peer-to-peer network and respective exchange of file sharing cannot be controlled, and it is nearly impossible to control because of the number of files exchanging per year and per day. Consider an example. Suppose if a particular person buys a newly launched game in the market and his friend who is not willing to pay for the same game will go and borrow the file from him. This is theoretically known as illegal practice and called as piracy. To prevent this kind of things, company has came with many solutions, and one of them is providing unique serial keys to each particular copy of the game, so that you can activate game by entering only that unique serial key. But the users have also came up to overcome this and do the piracy by software cracking by software cracking and by the use of keygen. Nevertheless, illegal file sharing and downloading still remains a major problem for gaming industry. The UKI report that console piracy using modified video game console amounted to 1.45 billion in the loss of sale for year 2010. Now you can see this diagram. What happens in current situation is that whenever a game is produced or published and user buys it, the company don't have any control over the physical copies sent sell to the user. What the user does with it, the companies don't have any idea, whether he uses for himself or his friends also uses the same file. But once the blockchain is been implemented on each and every physical files, the company will have the control on the usage of each and every physical file, so that if a particular person who buys the game and sells it to the person, to his friend or colleague, the company can charge him for the same because of doing the piracy type thing. This control of owners on peer-to-peer file sharing can create a new business model. Also, to hinder piracy, DRM tools can be used. DRM is digital rights management. This includes video game digital platforms such as Steam. Steam offers features such as accelerated downloads, cloud saves, and automatic patching.
So we have the next use case, that is new pricing option for paid content. Initially, everyone was more interested in bundling a lot of good stuff together, especially in terms of games. For example, you have your Valve's Orange Box, which bundled all of its good games together. But in today's world, people are more interested in buying specific games and having their content in a bite-sized module. So we have DLCs that accompany major games. So to help us gain revenue from this, blockchain technology could be incorporated so that the company would know exactly what bite-sized game DLC the player wants, as well as what content he wants to share it with his friends. Now, in today's world, people are moving towards pay-per-use concept. So this technology could also be implemented in the similar fashion and only charging player for the amount of time they actually use the commodity rather than for the commodity as a whole. Now, the next concept that actually is very much benefited by the technology of blockchain is microtransactions. In today's world, a lot of games have small amount of microtransaction, which are quality of life additions to the major game. These microtransactions sometimes can get out of hand and people could actually end up spending more than what they really want to. Using blockchain technology helps company as well as consumer understand their microtransaction behavior, as well as know on what commodity and when they actually spend upon. This data would help understand the buying and the spending patterns of customer, as well as the capacity of the revenue that could be potentially generated from the customer itself. Here we have a visualization of what this technology could actually do. From the diagram, first one, we can see that there's only one entity on the left, certain documents in the middle, and the customer on the right. In the next case, we have an entity as well as freelancing content providers on the left, the documents in the center, and the customers on the right. With the help of this diagram, we can actually see that the contributions done by freelancers or the people working in an individual capacity can be recognized with the help of blockchain, which is one of the major achievements. In gaming industry, it could be referred to as the modding community, which actually does a lot of work in terms of making new games, optimizing games, but oftentimes do not receive the credit. Hence, they can be rewarded in terms of monetary aspects as well. With the help of blockchain, we can identify and give credit to these individuals. The use case we now have is continuous and parallel gaming universes. In today's world, the gaming experience is getting more engrossing and extensive, and with the technologies like augmented reality and mixed reality coming into the play, it's gonna get even better. What tends to happen is players tend to invest a lot of time and effort in one particular game. And when they want to shift to a different game, they are not that rewarded and they have to do it all over again. With the help of blockchain technology, we can track the player's achievements, his equipment, his XYZ that is important to the game, and be it consistently throughout all the different gaming platforms he want to play it on. Not even the specific game on different consoles like from PS2 to a computer, but from one different game to another as a whole. With this help of technology, blockchain could also create algorithms which understand the nuances of players' perception as well as his expectations from the coming games. With the help of this expectation data, we can actually create a world, especially in augmented reality, which is accurately to the taste of the consumer himself. Blockchain technology could also give an extensive control over some specific rare commodities in the gaming world. It could give an idea where this commodity is being traded, as well as give it a unique identification which cannot be copied by anyone else. The implications of this technology could be profound. AAA companies could actually use this tactics to connect a lot of its game together in one similar universe. This would not only help create more revenue, but drastically increase the loyalty amongst its hardcore gamers. All as well as introduce these new concepts and games to new media, especially if in the mobile market. We can see that there is drastic growth in the mobile gaming market, which is an untapped sector, which is laden with lots of microtransaction and a lot of purchasing buying data. So, to understand the nitty-gritty of how blockchain could have an impact on the gaming industry, let me come up with a small example to help you understand. Today we play a lot of games, famously maybe Counter-Strike, maybe Call of Duty. For an example, we have a character, he uses a gun. The code to identify that gun is common, and as soon as you switch on your console or PC, that data is gone. And that is very replicable. It does not have any unique identification feature about it. But tomorrow, what if maybe a superstar comes to your home, he plays on your PC, he uses your character, your gun, to score some kills? Then how does it identify that that gun has been used by that person? With the help of blockchain technology, we could actually relate that attribute that yes, this particular weapon has been used by this particular celebrity at this particular time, hence adding a unique value to an object which generally would have been useless or valueless. So with the help of blockchain technology, we could actually add values to digital assets. As the technology is moving towards augmented reality and mixed reality, these digital assets would definitely have a very impeding effect on the way we perceive our world and we perceive gaming. So, blockchain would be revolutionary in this area. The public blockchain ledger will allow game developers to create rare virtual items and prove their scarcity, that is, proof of asset scarcity. With the help of blockchain, these equipment are unique to that person himself, as well as its history of trading in game would be recorded at each and every aspect. Using encrypted blockchain ledgers to store digital assets will guarantee safe storage of game items permanently. As these servers on which all of the information are stored tend to get hacked by some hackers, this shared ledger technology would help secure the information of each and every character as well as his equipment as well as his loadouts properly. Virtual items will be safe in the user's pocket wherever they go for as long as they want. As the person is uniquely identifiable, he won't be restricted to on one particular platform or one particular game. He could use his data throughout all the games in the connected gaming parallel universe.
Music forms an integral part of the gaming industry. Music is not only used as background but also in the themes of all the games that we play today. With the usage of music in the gaming industry, there also comes an added burden of paying the artists who have created those musics. With the help of blockchain, the distribution of royalties have become more efficient and transparent. What it will include in the blockchain is a music directory which will contain all the original music associated with all the individuals who have created that music. It is also possible to store instructions in the form of smart contracts and that specify how the artists are to be compensated and how sales proceeds are to be divided among all the eligible parties. Preferably, an embedded blockchain-based mechanism tracks usage on streaming services, radio stations, televisions, etc., and automatically accumulates credits or disburses actual payments to the respective copyright owners. Several startups such as West Film Chain have adopted blockchain in order to pay for royalties, West is using blockchain to create distribution platforms with greater transparency that give proper compensation and credit to the appropriate individual. After an initial song offering to raise money, West helped the distribute artist song on digital platform and promote the content. Such songs are often utilized as background or themes in the gaming industry. FilmChain works similarly using blockchain to encourage transparency throughout the development and distribution process. There are three major challenges when it comes to paying for royalties through the blockchain. Firstly, a large amount of data needs to be stored historically in order to retain the blockchain nodes due to a number of transactions across all music consumption channels. Secondly, common blockchain platform and interoperable blockchain standards needs to be agreed upon by the many relevant participants. Thirdly, the position of a trusted third party might not be granted to collection associations by market participants. Having a look at the challenges, now we will have a look at the benefits when it comes to paying for royalties through the blockchain. First of all, there is a near real time and exact allocation and distribution of royalty payments to the usage based on the smart contracts, and there are no more black boxes when it comes to payments. Secondly, there is the cost efficiency. There is no costly tracking and monitoring systems for music usage required, as every consumption or usage will be tracked by the blockchain. Thirdly, there is an emergence of new role of collection associations, the blockchain platform provider and verification of smart contract details through collection associations as trusted third parties.
Thank you.